Okay, thank you.
I was gonna ask, I just didn't know if I could. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Hi again, Jay Eichmann, Road Test Success. Got a great driving video coming in today from Central California. This student is Gutsy. She is taking the test midday during the lunch rush hour traffic. And this student is experienced. She's over 18 years old. She's been driving for quite a while. And you're going to see that reflected in her drive test. She's got some confidence. And that confidence is going to help her, but also in some cases it may hurt her a little bit. There are situations where she's got to be a little bit aggressive to get out into traffic. That's where it helps. And then of course the flip side is that the examiner marks off for that speed and you do get some deductions for that. And sometimes that's how the driving test goes. It's hard to win. So stick around and see how this student does. There'll be lots of tips throughout the video as the examiner is actually pretty quiet. We're going to start the test with the pre-vehicle checklist, and I've got that detailed in the sidebar. Now, regardless of the state that you take your test in, every testing agency will do a pre-vehicle check. You should look up the requirements of your vehicle's safety check and make sure your vehicle is compliant before you get it there. It would stink to get all the way to your test day and then have your car fail the test on the safety inspection. This list is a pretty typical list you'll find in almost any state. This is the California list. Now the ones in bold
Left, right, stop.
The emergency parking brake, set it and release it.
are the ones the student has to demonstrate.
The following controls, don't turn them on, just point to the headlights.
Right here.
Windshield wipers,
Right here.
headlights,
Headlights here. Sorry. Headlights here. Windshield wipers there.
the front windshield defroster,
Right here.
and the emergency or hazard lights.
Right here.
Now those 6 items that you have to demonstrate, those can count against you. You have to show that you can locate those controls and use them. And you can get up to 3 of those wrong and still pass.
And you can roll up your window if you like. Okay, you will be evaluated today on the ability to drive safely and skillfully in different situations. Make any lane changes necessary to follow the directions I give you, but only perform the maneuvers when it's safe, okay? I'll say turn right, turn left. If I don't say anything, then you're just going to go straight or follow whatever the signs or signals have you to do. Also, while you're driving, I'm going to be marking on your score sheet. Don't let that make you nervous, because every time I mark on it, it doesn't necessarily mean you're making a mistake.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me before we take her off?
No.
So we're about to start moving here and understand everything that's happening now as part of the test. So as we back up, your hand is over the seat and you're looking out the back window. You're checking your mirrors. As we approach the sidewalk up here, you're looking for pedestrians. You're stopping behind the sidewalk. If you can't see traffic clearly, then you're moving and making a second stop. And now as we move into traffic, you want to show that you're checking your mirrors. Very good idea to check your rear view mirror here. Is someone flying up behind you? You're watching YouTube channel Road Test Success, and you'll notice that we do things a little bit different on this channel. All of the comments have been structured so that they're current. And we really use the comment section as a forum for you to encourage each other, ask questions, and be a part of this road test community. Now you're going to notice the examiner is writing things down as you drive. Don't let that freak you out. They're just taking notes and checking off some of the different maneuvers that you've performed. Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong.
Okay, at this side street, you're going to turn left.
So here we have a left turn, and you need to utilize that center turn lane. If you don't, you will get a deduction. That center turn lane is so you can get out of the flow of traffic and other cars can safely go around you. Now we're entering into a residential section here, so be sure to do the safe and allowed speed limit and stay in your lane. I know there is no lane divider in the residential area, but you need to be to the right hand side. And you also want to show continued alertness to your surroundings. So you're checking your mirrors, you're scanning, and you're looking.
We're going to turn right. At the stop sign, turn right.
Now remember, if there is no painted stop line on the pavement, then you must stop behind the actual pole of the stop sign. Be sure to make a complete stop and look left and right. Now if your view is obscured, then you'll need to make a second stop. Perfect, this student's doing a great job. And then as you pull out into traffic, look again, a quick look over your shoulder.
At this side street right here, turn right.
Now you should enter the bike lane. That is completely acceptable, but it is a lane, so do a quick shoulder check as you enter into that bike lane for that right turn. Scanning mirrors, showing that you're alert and defensive. Stay in your lane.
At this side street, turn right.
So we're coming up on an unmarked intersection
Street, turn left.
with a left-hand turn. You should be scanning as you approach this intersection, and if it's clear, you can go on through. So the student is about to do the backing maneuver. You'll see there's a hydrant here on the street, but it's a green hydrant. This is not a fire hydrant, and so stopping in front of it is okay. Also, the curb is not painted red. Now this is what we do to demonstrate parking proficiency.
I don't think so. Well, we're gonna do our parking here. So right here, we're gonna do the backing maneuver. I'm gonna have you back up straight until I say stop. Don't go out to the street this way or go this way and hit the curb. Okay, any questions?
The big thing here is not to hit the curb. If you hit the curb, that is a critical error. That is a fail. Now your left hand stays on the wheel, right hand goes over behind the passenger seat, and you must look out the back window. Now, as you enter back into traffic, blinker, shoulder check, mirror check, you must perform all of those actions. This is a very involved maneuver. And now we're coming up on one of the most difficult sections of this test for the student. We have a lot of cross traffic on the street ahead.
Stop sign, turn right.
And she's going to have to be somewhat aggressive to get out into traffic. Now this could just be one of those tough break situations for you on your test. If you are a bit uneasy and not that assertive in your driving, then you may want to strategically schedule your test mid-morning so you don't have this type of traffic. Great times for your test would be in the 10 a.m. hour, and midweek is also a very good time of the week. So this student could go into that farther lane, but again, that would be a fairly aggressive and risky maneuver to do on a driving exam test. Best advice here would be patience.
I could have gone, but okay.
Lane change to the left.
Signal, mirror, shoulder check, and then move on over.
At At this major intersection, turn left.
Now you need to utilize that center lane. You don't wait until that opening. You need to allow the traffic behind you to pass on by. Otherwise you become a hazard in the roadway yourself. And be sure to give enough space here between you and the car in front of you that if that car were to stall out, you would be able to get around them. Here's another tough situation. Just as she comes up on the light, it changes to red. Now I've snipped some of this time out of here just for the sake of saving time in this video. That entire minute and a half waiting for that light, the examiner did not say a single word. Remember now, as you make these turns, you go into the closest lane. If you jumped a lane, that wouldn't be an immediate fail unless, of course, there was a vehicle there, and then that would be a critical error. You're scanning your mirror, you're showing that you're an alert and defensive driver.
At this side street, turn right.
It's okay to enter into the bike lane, just check your shoulder. And stay on your side of the road as you finish this turn. So here we have a real-life situation coming up.
Okay, at this next side street, you're going to turn right.
You've got a service vehicle in the roadway going slower. Give space. You don't know what they need to do. For all you know, they need to back this thing up in just a few moments. So be patient and give space. So we've got another situation coming
At the
up
stop
with
sign, turn right.
heavy cross traffic. Now I did cut some of the waiting out just for the sake of time here. Realize though that you must stop behind the line on the pavement, and then if necessary make a second and complete stop. There's also something about keeping your wheel straight until you actually begin the turn. And this student did lose points twice for having her wheels turned prematurely.
Lane change to the left.
Signal, mirror check, shoulder check, and go on over. Be sure to check over your shoulder, literally turn your head, look over your shoulder. They will deduct for that if you do not. Now I cut some of the waiting out of this stop light also, but there's an important tip here as you come into this intersection. As you go through the intersection, a quick scan left-right. They'll be watching for that as you go through intersections. Alright, we're checking left, looking right, just making sure we're safe. Maybe a check on your rear view mirror. Show them that you are an alert driver. Contrary to what some might believe, the examiner does not want you to fail. But they do need you to demonstrate that you can be a safe and alert driver. Now sometimes things are going to happen that are beyond your control and that will cause you to fail the test. So be it. Reschedule and do it again. Don't get discouraged. So I'm going to flash forward here to the end of this test as we return to the DMV lot.
Intersection, turn left. To this first right here.
This student has done a great job of showing that she can be a safe and alert driver.
This one, right?
She did get some deductions for speed and lane use. She missed a total of 8 out of 15, but you can miss up to 15. Anything 15 and under is a great test. So one final challenge as we complete the test. There is a pedestrian on that sidewalk, and she's trying to turn left. Watch out. That sidewalk has to be clear of pedestrians before you try to turn in there. Imagine failing your driving test on the final turn into the DMV
And then you
parking
can
lot.
park in any of these spots right here. At least that will get out.
This video was sent in from one of our contributors in Central California. If you're interested in being one of our contributors, we've got a program that can reimburse you for the cost of your dash camera, the full cost of your dash camera. We have an application in the details below.
And you can go ahead and put it on park, and then give me just a minute so I can. I won't keep you waiting though in suspense while I write it. You get passed.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. I
thank
can tell you that
you.
much. I just
Thank
need to write it out.
you. Thank you for not giving
This
me
is
a
Road
second.
Test
Like, oh my
Success.
God, oh my God.
Thanks for watching. You got this.